Sponsored by EA. Hey everyone, it's AlluringSimmer here, and if you're new here, then welcome to Planet Allura, and if you've been here before, then welcome back. Today we are making a sim based on the world Ciudad Enamorada. Before we get into today's video, I just want to share that I am part of the EA Creator Program, and you can use my code AlluringSimmer when purchasing Sims 4 DLC, or visit my website at AlluringSimmer.com/creator to see other eligible EA titles that you can use my code AlluringSimmer for when making purchases on the EA app. If you've used my code before, I appreciate you so much, as the support helps me out as a content creator, and I would really appreciate if you all continue to use my code when purchasing Sims 4 DLC. Some other ways you can support me are by subscribing to the Tulip tier on my Patreon or subscribing to my Twitch channel, but the best way to support me is simply by watching my videos all the way through, liking, commenting, and subscribing to my YouTube channel. And last but not least, I do have a sim challenge going on that will end on July 26th. Whether you like creative sim or building, there is something for you. I currently have the hashtag Alluring Fairy shell, where you can download my shell on the gallery ID AlluringSimmer, and make any fairy themed build, or you can use the hashtag Alluring Fairy CAS and upload a fairy sim you've created. It can also be an enchanted creature or a fairy-like sim if you don't have the new pack. I may choose your sim to add to the world during my Winx Let's Play or your build, so consider to enter if you want to see your sim or your build in my game. When making this sim, I had the intention to use them for the Hot Sim Summer Challenge by The Simmer. The intention of that challenge is to have a sim travel to several worlds throughout the series and go on dates, and hopefully by the end of the challenge you will find your true love, or not. Some of the things we'd have to do while in Ciudad Enamorada, which is the first world that your sim will be in the challenge, include hosting a housewarming event, setting up your dating profile, going on dates, making friends, and learning new skills. I like that the vibe of this challenge is more laid back. The requirements for each new world you visit are things that you would probably do naturally in your game. So let me know in the comments down below if that's something you'd be interested in, because I do have a mini announcement to make. During the month of August, I will be on vacation, so if you're interested in seeing me do this series, I will try my best to pre-record either all or most of the parts to have it come out twice a week during the month of August. Because obviously we can't have a hot sim summer when it's fall. Let me know in the comments down below if this is something you'd be interested in seeing, and that way I can get started with the challenge. Now let's get into her outfits. I decided to make my Sims outfits kind of match the general vibe and aesthetic that I feel like comes from the world of Ciudad Enamorada, but also take into consideration the challenge, which is to have your sim kind of go on vacation and meet new people as she travels to the different worlds. So a lot of her fits are like vacation fits. She has like bright colors with her outfits, like yellow, red, and orange. She's wearing floral. She has that cute little flower in her hair. And whenever I think of like vacation fits for my Sims, or just in general, especially if you're going to like a tropical place or somewhere with like a hot climate, I think of like colors of the sunrise. So like yellows, oranges, reds, and that was kind of the vibe I went for with all of her outfits. Another kind of extra challenge I gave for myself was doing outfits from the Love Struck pack, because that is the pack that the Ciudad Enamorada world came with. And so I tried my best to like incorporate a lot of items from that pack when creating the sim. As this sim is also part of my like Sims Around the World series, where I'm making different sims based off of different worlds in the game, I wanted to make sure that I was using items from the pack to kind of show off those items, but also to get me to use those items more, if that makes sense. I feel like if you use a lot of custom content, you might understand. I feel like I really try my best to like mix custom content with like in-game content as well, because I do love a lot of the in-game content, but I do think part of me downloading so much CC makes it so sometimes like the in-game content gets lost, and I just end up never using it because I'm always scrolling to the bottom to find my CC. So something that I'm striving to do a bit more in the future is using more of the stuff that came with the packs. Like I already do use them, but I want to use them more, because I feel like especially in the recent packs, there's a lot of cute things that I kind of skip over or glance over because it's mixed in with all my CC. I think the hardest part when creating these looks is I was just imagining my sim on vacation the entire time. So I was thinking, like, I know some people do go to the gym when they are on vacation, but I do feel like the majority of the people when they go on vacation, they might do like light exercises, like go for a walk, go for a jog or something like that. But they're not going to be going to the gym if they have like a membership. you know, in their hometown. So I was like, what do I do for athletic wear? But I ended up settling on like these shorts and this cute little like sports bra, and I really liked the vibe of the whole outfit. And I still kept the color scheme going with like the red top, and I wanted to still give the vibe of like she's on vacation. Then I really tried my best to like change up her hairstyle with most of the looks. I know that it's common to just like keep the same hair with all of their outfits, but I just feel like I can never do that. I always have to give them a different hairstyle for every single look, or I kind of change it up based on what I think makes sense. For example, like they can have the same hair for like their everyday, their hot weather, their cold weather, but then usually for like formal and party wear, I'll try and switch it up to make it match the vibe of their outfit. Athletic wear, I always like pull it back, or like in this case I put it in like a braid. And then for swimwear, I feel like sometimes I try to make it either look like their hair is wet, or I will have it like up in a bun or something like that. Something else that I should mention is when I was putting together these looks, my sister was with me and kind of giving her input. So she was saying things as like a joke. She was like, you should throw some Crocs on her. And I was like, are you serious? And I genuinely thought that she wanted me to put Crocs on the girl, but she was just messing with me. So I settled on these like cute little white slippers, and then I did her hair up in rollers because I thought it looked really cute. I don't remember if I ended up changing it. No, I don't think I changed it. I was considering doing like a hair with like a scrunchie on the side, like having her hair kind of pulled to the side, and my sister was telling me there was a hairstyle that I should try, but it just didn't turn out the way that I wanted. So we ended up just going back to the rollers. Something else that I've noticed is that recently I've just been getting more into Creative Sim, and it's been so fun. And I feel like when I go to download custom content, I'm like thinking about how the pieces are going to go together and like trying to create like outfits in my head. While I feel like before I would just download like any custom content that I thought was cute, and then I would put in my game and be like, oh, I actually don't have a sim that this makes sense for, or I don't feel like I actually like it as much as I thought that I would. But I feel like now, especially doing these like themed creative sims, like with these ones being sims based off of like specific worlds, or like when I did the Winx creative sim, for example, I feel like that's allowed me to kind of step out of my comfort zone, but also like use a lot more of the CC that I'm downloading because I have different opportunities to use the different creative sim stuff. I think I've also kind of expanded my horizon with like the types of sims that I make in terms of like fashion style. Like for example, with this sim, obviously she's for like a tropical world, and like not tropical world because I feel like Solani is more of the tropical world, but you know what I mean. Like she's supposed to be going on vacation, and I feel like with the other sim I made for Chestnut Ridge, I was giving more like Southern Belle type of vibes. And then when I was doing like the Winx girlies, obviously they were all fairies, so that's more like a magical sort of bright colors and fun vibe for all of their outfits. So yeah, I don't know where I was really going with this other than the fact that I feel like I've just really been enjoying doing creative sim and like coming up with all of these different looks for my sim. I do want to say that if you ever have any ideas for like types of sims that you'd like to see me create in terms of like what style you'd like to see me dress a sim in, or giving me like sort of a prompt for a sim that you'd like to see me create, then feel free to share your thoughts in the comments down below. I really want to hear your feedback on the sims that I create. You can let me know what you think of their outfits. Let me know what you would personally change. What kind of vibe would you go for if you're making a sim going to Ciudad Enamorada, or if you're just, you know, taking a sim on vacation? Do you value like more comfort when it comes to going on vacation, or are you someone that prefers like, you know, really exploring different styles and different looks when you go on vacation? Do you kind of go out of your normal attire when you go out to a new place? And as we get into the final looks, it was really fun doing her swimwear because what I did was I made one outfit with like a cover up sort of vibe. I wanted to have it like have her bathing suit kind of like peek out of the short, and you can see here I was like going through so many different outfits before I decided what I was going to do. And then I have one with the shorts and I have one without, so that way I can have my sim walk around in her swimwear and not necessarily be in her bathing suit the entire time, but then I can like take off the shorts easily by just using MC Command Center. So that's just a little fun suggestion, not even just for swimwear but for like sleepwear. Like maybe you want to put your sims, I don't know, you want to put like a little eye cover for your sims while they're sleeping, but then when they're walking around in their pajamas you don't want it. Just make two different versions of the look, one with it and one without, and then you can easily change it when you're in game. And then for her hot weather wear, I decided to do like a bikini top and shorts. I did end up changing these shorts because I didn't like that they were like conflicting with every single pair of shoes that I put on her. But I really do like the vibe of just like her hot weather being like a bikini top and shorts, especially because she's in somewhere where, you know, there's gonna be tropical weather, and she's also there to find her boo, like whoever that may be. So she's gonna be serving the look with every single outfit that she wears. And one thing that I do want to mention is when we get into the cold weather look later, you may be like, girl, you are not wearing that when it's actually cold outside. But again, I was also thinking of the climate of the world that we're going to be moving our sim to potentially if we do end up doing the challenge. And I was like, let's just do an outfit that like kind of feels like it would give warmth, but it's also not giving like my sim lives in Mount Komorebi, for example, because like there obviously the climate is much colder no matter what season it is, so it would make more sense to have like a jacket on and like layers. Well, I feel like with her being in Ciudad Enamorada for the first world, it made more sense to just have something a little bit more covered up but still giving like the beach vacation tropical vibes. And you can see here I started off with like the more wintry looks, and then I kind of switched it up later. So stay tuned until the end to see screenshots of our final looks, and be sure to comment down below and let me know what you think. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye everyone.